Hello everyone. So welcome back to the second video on time and work. So in the previous video we discussed the basics of time and work, right? We discussed how can we basically evaluate questions pertaining to time and work and what are the various methods by which we can solve questions of time and work, right? So in this video what we'll be doing is we'll be going to the next step, and that is basically to solve the questions, right? Alright, then let's begin by question number one. So if you have watched the first video, then please try to attempt this question by yourself before I solve this question. And if you haven't, then it's my suggestion that you please watch the first video where I have discussed the basics of time and work so that you're able to understand how we'll be proceeding with questions in this video, right? All right, let's get going then without wasting our time further. Depending upon the questions and depending upon the situations, we'll make use of any of the three methods which we discussed in the previous video, right? Alright, so Tom working at a constant rate can paint the complete room in 6 hours, and Harry working at the constant rate can paint the same room in 8 hours. If both persons starts painting the room together, then in how many hours will the room be painted? So the time for Harry and time for Tom is given to us. So let's suppose time taken by Tom is t sub t, which is 6 hours, and time by Harry is t sub h, which is equal to 8 hours. So what we'll do is, in this case, since the numerical values are given to us, what we'll do is we will consider work to be 48 units. We will take work to be 48 units. So we can say that rate at which Tom is working is 8 units an hour, and rate at which Harry is working is basically 6 units an hour, right? If both the persons starts painting the room together, in how many hours will the room be painted? Now, if they both are working, which means we can say that in total they will be doing 14 units in an hour. 8 by Tom and 6 by Harry. Now, how much do they have to work? They have to work 48 units. So how much time will they take? The total time taken by them will be 48 divided by 14 hours, which you can simplify and which will come out to be 24 by 7 hours. Or you can write 3 by 7 hours, whichever way you wish to do it, depending upon what all options do you have, right? All right, so I think this was the easy one, right? Let's move on to the second question. Pause the video and try this question by yourself first. So machine A and machine B can produce one widget in 3 hours working together at their respective constant rates. If machine A's speed were doubled, the two machines could produce one widget in 2 hours working together at their respective rates. How many hours does it currently take machine A to produce one widget on its own? Fine. So let's do one thing. Let's take the rate at which machine A is working to be small a and rate at which machine B is working to be small b. So machine A and B can produce one widget in 3 hours working together. So now if they're working together, I can say that the total rate will be A plus B. Multiplied by time, which is 3, that will be equal to 1, because they're producing one widget, so that's the output, right? If machine A's speed were doubled, which means now it will become 2A, we can say that RA new will be twice of A, right? So the two machines could produce one widget in 2 hours, so it will be 2A plus B into 2, that will be equal to 1. Again, rate multiplied by time is equal to total work done. So from the first one, I have A plus B as 1 by 3. From the second one, I have 2A plus B as 1 by 2. Right, so this is my equation number 1 and this is my equation number 2. So let's subtract the two equations. So what I'm doing is I'm doing equation number 2 minus equation number 1, okay? So 2a minus a will become a, and b minus b will become 0, and half minus 1 by 3 is 1 over 6. So the rate at which a is producing is 1 by 6. Right? The rate at which a is working is basically 1 over 6. Now what's the question? How many hours does it currently take machine A to produce one widget? So its rate of A multiplied by time taken by A, that will be equal to total work, which is equal to 1. So time taken by A to produce one widget will simply be equal to 6 hours. So we are simply forming the equations, right? Nothing else is required for the first two questions. Alright, then let's move on to the next question, which is question number 3. So pause the video and draw this question, please. Machine A can complete a certain job in X hours. So time taken by A is X hours. Machine B can complete the same job in Y hours. So time taken by B is Y hours. If A and B work together at their respective rates to complete the job, then what fraction of the job that B will not have to complete because of A's help? Okay, now first thing first, let's say you have read this question up till this point. So what are you supposed to do? Now, mostly what people do is they will take the total work to be 1, and they'll say, all right, rate of A is 1 by X, rate of B is 1 by Y, and then they'll start solving the question. Okay, I have an alternate way of solving this. So what I can do is I'll take the total work to be XY units, which means I can say that rate of A will simply become XY divided by X, which is basically equal to Y units in an hour. And rate of B will become XY divided by Y, which is equal to X units an hour. Now, if A and B work together at their respective rates to complete the job, so if they both are working together, that means in an hour they are doing they are doing X plus Y units. They are doing X plus Y units. So X plus Y units multiplied by time taken will be equal to total work, which is XY. So time taken by them to finish the work when they both are working together will be equal to XY divided by X plus Y. This will be the time taken, right? Now, if the total time taken is XY divided by X plus Y, then what fraction of job that B will not have to complete because of A's help, right? Now, if the total time taken is XY divided by X plus Y, then we can say that work done by A will be equal to time taken, which is XY divided by X plus Y, multiplied by rate of A, which is Y, and work done by B will be equal to total time taken, which is XY divided by X plus Y, multiplied by rate of B, which is X. Now what's the question? The question is what fraction of the job that B will not have to complete. Now the fraction of job that B will not have to complete will basically be the fraction which A will be completing, right? That will be the part of the job which A will be completing. So what we need to do is we need to figure out what fraction of work is A doing. We need to figure out what fraction of work is A doing. Now the fraction of work that A is doing will basically be equal to work done by A, which is this value, divided by total work, which is this value. So it will be xy divided by x plus y into y divided by xy. So xy cancels out, and this will simply become y divided by x plus y. And this will be one of the options. You just have to check it and you have to move it forward. Okay. So the answer is simply y divided by x plus y. That's it. All right, let's move on to question number 4. All right, let's try this next question. That is question number 4. You can pause the video and you can try the question for yourself before I solve this question. So please give this one a try before I start solving this one. All right, let's see how we can solve this question. So when they work alone, B needs 25% more time to finish a job than A does. So let's say the time taken by A is T, then time taken by B will be 1.25 T, which is also equal to 5 by 40. Now, since they're doing the same work, let's also consider the work to be W. So rate of A into time taken by A is W, which means rate of A is simply W divided by T. And on the same basis, I can also say that rate of B into time taken by B is W, which means rate of B will be equal to W divided by 5T by 4, or which is also equal to 4W by 5T. The two finish the job in 13 days in the following manner. A works alone till half the job is done, then B works alone for 4 days. A and B work together for 4 days, and B works alone to complete the remaining 5% of the job. Okay, so A works alone till half the job is done, then A and B work together for 4 days, and finally B works alone to complete the remaining 5% of the job. Okay, so this job is divided into 3 parts. So we have the first 50% of the part, which is done by A alone. Then A plus B is, they're basically doing job for 4 days together. And then we have the remaining 5% of the job. So this is 5% of the job. And this is done by B. And this is basically equal to the total work, which is also like the 100% work. Which means, so to say that, we can say that this A plus B in 4 days are basically doing 45% of the job. A plus B in 4 days are basically doing 45% of the job. Now, what's the rate at which A is working? That is W by T. The rate at which B is working is 4W by 5T multiplied by time, that is 4, and this is equal to 0.45 W. Now W is going to get cancelled out. I can take 5T in my denominator, and this will be 5 plus 1, which is 6, multiplied by 4, and this is equal to 45 by 100. So this will simply equal to 9 by 20. Now if I'm going to solve this further, can I simplify something? Yes, I can cancel this 5, and this 20 will automatically become 4, and this will become 2, and this will become 3. So you will have 8 by T, and that should be equal to 3 by 4, or we can say T will be equal to 32 by 3. I just check my calculations. I've cancelled 5 with 20, it became 4. I cancelled 6 with 9, they became 2 and 3. 2 into 4 is going to give me 8. 8 when cross multiplied by 4 is going to give me 32 divided by 3, that's going to give me 3. So T is the time taken by A to finish the job, and that is equal to 32 by 3 days. Alright, now what else do we have? Now we need to calculate in how many days can B alone finish the entire job. Alright, so we need to calculate 5t by 4, so that is 5 by 4 into 32 by 3. So this is basically equal to 40 by 3 days. So time taken by B to complete the job is basically equal to 40 by 3 days, and that's our answer. All right. So let's move on to the next question now. Pause the video and try this question number 5, please. All right. A drain pipe can drain a tank in 12 hours. A fill pipe can fill the same tank in 6 hours. A total of n pipes, a few of which are fill and the remaining are drain, can fill the entire tank in 2 hours. What all values could n take? Alright. Now we have a drain pipe which can do the work in 12 hours, and we have a fill pipe which can do the work in 6 hours. So we can say that the total work is equal to 12, which is basically the LCM of 12 hours and 6 hours. So the rate at which the drain pipe is working is going to be 1 unit and hour, and rate at which the fill pipe is working is going to be 2 units an hour. So we have a total of n pipes. So let's do one thing. Let's say that we have a total of x drain pipes, which means we're going to have n minus x fill pipes. So a total of n pipes, which include a few of fill and remaining drain, can fill the entire tank in 2 hours. Now the work done by n minus x fill pipes will be twice into n minus x, and work done by drain. Now if we are considering filling to be positive, we will automatically consider draining to be negative. So minus of x and then its whole multiplied by 2, because we have to take time also into consideration, and this should be equal to 12. So we are going to get our equation as twice of n minus thrice of x is equal to 6. So twice of n is equal to 6 plus 3x. So n is equal to 3 plus 3x by 2. This is the relationship that we have between n and x. Now what all values can n take? Now n represents the number of pipes, right? It has to be an integer value. N represents the number of pipes, it has to be an integer value, which means 3x by 2 needs to be an integer. 3x by 2 needs to be an integer, which means x has to be an even number. X has to be an even number. So we can start with x is equal to 2, which is going to give me n 6. Then x can be equal to 4. So it's going to be 12 by 2, which is 6. So n will be equal to 9, and so on and so forth. So n can be like multiples of 3, because n can be 6, 9, then it's going to come 12, and so on and so forth. Right? So any of the options which is like a multiple of 3 will be your correct answer. Okay. Alright, then let's move on to the next question. So pause the video and draw this question, please. Okay, let's read this one out. So 4 men and 6 women complete a task in 24 days. Women are at least half as efficient as men, but not more efficient than men. What is the range of number of days for 6 women and 2 men to complete the same task? Okay, so let's say that the efficiency of men, or the rate at which men are working, is small m, and rate at which women are working is anywhere between, or let me write this in form of an inequality. This value is anywhere from m by 2 to m, because it says at least half, that means equal to or greater than, but not more than, which means also at most, that is it cannot be greater than m, but it can be less than equal to m. So this satisfies. What is the range of number of days 6 women and 2 men meant to complete the same task? Fine. So 4 men and 6 women complete a task in 24 days, so which means I can say that 4m plus 6w multiplied by 24, let's say this is equal to some work. Let's call this work P, because I'm already making use of W, so I don't want to write two W's, otherwise you guys may get confused. Okay, so I'm taking work to be P in this case. Now 4 men plus 6W will be equal to P by 24. Now we'll take the case 1, that is the least possible value of rate of women, or the efficiency of women, which is m by 2. So when you can say when the efficiency of women, or the rate at which women are doing work, is equal to m by 2, so we will have 4m plus 6, m by 2 is equal to p by 24. So this will become 7m is equal to p by 24, or m will be equal to p by 24 into 7, which will basically be equal to 168. So let's just quickly write 168. Okay, now for case number 1, what is the range of number of days for 6 women and 2 men to complete the same task? So we have 6 women, that is 6w plus 2m multiplied by time, and that is equal to p. Now we're taking the first case when rate of women, or W, is equal to m by 2, and m is coming out to be p by 168. So we will have 6 into 1 by 2 into p by 168 plus 2p by 168 multiplied by time t is equal to p. So this is 3p by, because 2 will cancel with 3, by 168 plus 2p by 168 will be equal to p, that is 5p by 168 multiplied by time, this value is also multiplied by time, is equal to p, which will give you time as 168 by 5 days. Now this is the maximum possible value of time. Why? Because we are considering the rate of women to be minimum. Right? This is the maximum possible value of the time, because we are considering the rate of women to be minimum. Right? That's the concept that we're using here. Second scenario, or the second case is, I need to remove this. Second scenario will be when the rate of, when W is basically equal to M, that is the efficiency of men is that of women. This is case 2. So I can say that 4m plus 6m into 24 is equal to p, or m is equal to p by 240. So we have 6 men and 2 women, 6 women and 2 men, my bad. So 6 women and 2 men multiplied by time, this is equivalent to p. Now since the efficiency of men and women are exactly the same, so W is equal to m. So that is 8 into p by 240 into t is p. Pp goes out. So t will be equal to 30. And this is the minimum amount of time. This is the minimum amount of time. Now you can simplify this. So this is 3 times 15, then it's 18, then 3 times 15 again, so that is 33.6. They will take a maximum of 33.6 days and a minimum of 30 days to finish this work. Okay, that is all that you had to do in this question. Nothing else was required. All right, let's move on to the next one. Pause the video and try this one, please. All right, let's try this one. So, a paint crew gets a rush order to paint 80 houses in a new development. They paint the first Y houses at a rate of X houses per week. Realizing that they'll be late at this rate, they bring in some more painters and paint the rest of the houses at a rate of 1.25x houses per week. The total time it takes them to paint all the houses under this scenario is what fraction of the time it would have taken if they had painted all the houses at the original rate x houses per week. So they get an order to paint 80 houses in a new development. They paint the first Y houses at the rate of X houses per week. So I can say X houses per week multiplied by number of weeks, that is rate multiplied by time, is equal to total work, which is equal to Y. Now the houses left is basically equal to 80 minus Y because Y houses have already been painted, right? Realizing that they'll be late at this rate, they bring in some more painters and paint the rest of the houses at the rate of 1.25 houses per week. So this will be 1.25x into number of weeks is equal to 80 minus Y. Now the total duration for painting Y houses, let's call it W1, that is number of weeks. We're representing that as W1. So W1 will be equal to Y by X. Let's say that number of weeks, this one is W2. So W2 is 80 minus Y divided by 1.25x. So the total time it takes them to paint all the houses under this scenario. So total time taken is Y by X plus 80 minus Y divided by 5x by 4. So this is Y by X plus 4 by 5 into 80 minus Y by X. So this is Y by X, and we can solve this. This is 320 minus 4y divided by 5x. So we can take 5x as the LCM. This is 5y plus 320 minus 4y, which will give us the result as y plus 320 divided by 5x. This will be the total time taken. The total time it takes them to paint all the houses under this scenario is what fraction of the time it would have taken if they had painted all the houses at their original rate. Now, if they would have done it at the original rate, so under original rate, they're working at a rate of X houses per week. So X into number of weeks will simply be equal to 80. Let's call this number of weeks to be W3. So you will get W3 as 80 by X. So the total time it takes them to paint all the houses under this scenario is what fraction of the time it would have taken if they had painted all the houses at the original rate. So the fraction is y by 320, y plus 320 divided by 5x divided by 80 divided by x. So x and x goes. This will be y plus 320 divided by 400. That's the answer. Okay, that's all that you have to do in this question. Interesting one, good question, right? All right, let's move on to the next one now. All right, let's try this one. A tank is fitted with pipes, some filling it and the rest draining it. All filling pipes fill at the same rate and all draining pipe drain at the same rate. So we will consider that rate of filling pipes to be F and rate of draining pipe to be D. The empty tank gets filled in 6 hours when 6 filling and 8 draining pipes are on. So if 6 filling is on, that means total work is 6F. 5 draining are on, that means total work is minus 5D. This is the total rate multiplied by time, which is 6. This is equal to total work W. But this time becomes 60 when 5 filling and 6 draining pipe are on. 5 filling is 5F minus 6D into 60, and this is equal to W, right? Now the first thing that I have to do is I need to figure out a relationship between F and D. So why don't we divide the two equations? Or in other terms, you can like simply equate them. So you will have 6D, 6F, sorry, minus 5D into 6 is 5F minus 6D into 60. So this goes out. This here is 10. 6F minus 5D is equal to 50F minus 60D. So I'll take negative 60D on LHS and negative 5 positive 6F on RHS. So negative 60, this positive 5, so this is 50 5D. This is equal to 44F. So 5D is 4F or D is equal to 0.8F. D is equal to 0.4F. Now once we have the value of D and F, so D is 0.8F. So I'm going to remove these calculations because I'll be needing space. So I have D which is equal to 0.8F. Now using this F and D, I would like to calculate them in terms of capital W, which is the work. So let's make use of equation number 1. This I'm considering as equation 1, okay? So 6F, in place of 5D I can have 4F into 6 is equal to W. So 12F is equal to W, or F is equal to W by 12. F is equal to W by 12. Or in short, I can say that D is equal to 8 by 10 into W by 12. So D is equal to 2W by, so, or I can make this W by 15 simply. I will make it 2W, simply make it W by 15. In how many hours will the empty tank get completely filled when one draining pipe and two filling pipe are on? So two filling pipe is 2F minus D into total time, and this is equal to work, and this is what we need to figure out, right? So 2F is 2W by 12, which is W by 6, minus W by 15 into time is equal to W. So W goes. You can take 30 as your LCM. So this is 4 minus, no, my bad, 5 minus 2 whole multiplied by T is equal to 1. So you will have T is equal to 30 by 3, which is simply equal to 10 hours. Which is simply equal to 10 hours. That's it. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Pause the video and try this one, please. All right, let's try this one. So Ramesh and Ganesh can together complete a work in 16 days. After 7 days of working together, Ramesh got sick and his efficiency fell by 30%. As a result, they completed the work in 17 days instead of 16 days. If Ganesh had worked alone after Ramesh got sick, in how many days would he have completed the remaining work? Alright, so what's happening is, so let's assume the efficiency of Ramesh to be R and that of Ganesh to be G. So R plus G into 16 is equal to total work done. Or you can assume total work to be 16 also, that's completely your call. So let's do one thing. Let's take the total work to be because we have to have 17 also, right? So we can take it to be 16 into 17, right? So that is we can take it to be 16 square is 256, so that will be 257. No, my bad. It's not 16 square plus 1, it's 16 into 17. So that is 16 square, which is 256, plus another 16, which is 272. My bad. So we'll take the total work to be 252, which means Ramesh and Ganesh in a day are basically doing 17 units of work. Now 7 days are done. So if 7 days of work is done, then we can say that in 7 days they would have work 17 into 7, which is equal to 119 units of work. So work left will be equal to 272 minus 119, which is equal to 153 units. After 7 days of working together, Ramesh got sick and his efficiency fell by 30%. As a result, they completed the work in 17 days. So if his efficiency fell by 30%, so it will be G plus 0.7 R into 10, because that's the remaining number of days, and that is equal to 153, because that's the amount of work which is left, right? So I can say that G plus 0.7 R is equal to 15.3. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. You can subtract them. So R plus G minus G plus 0.7 R, which is 0.3 R, and that will simply be equal to 1.7, which means R is 17 by 3. R is 17 by 3. Now, what's the question? If Ganesh had worked alone after Ramesh got sick, Now, if Ganesh were to work alone, now first of all, we need to calculate the efficiency of Ganesh. So R plus G is 17 units using equation 1, and R is 17 by 3. So G plus 17 by 3 is equal to 17. So G is equal to 2 into 17 by 3. Now, if Ganesh were to work alone, he was supposed to do 153 units of work, that's the work left. So 2 into 17 by 3 into total time taken is equal to 153. So this cancels out, this becomes 9. And you can cancel this becomes 4.5. So 12 plus 1.5, so that is 13.5 days. So if he would have been working alone, then he would have taken 13.5 days. So again, like, you can simply assume a value and you can solve the question. Otherwise, you would have taken total work to be capital W, and again you would have solved the question. Right. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, let's try this one last question number 10 for this video. You can pause the video and try this question for yourself first, and then you can play back the video in order to understand how to solve this particular question. So, interesting question. All right, let's try this one. So Lindsay can paint 1x of a certain room in 20 minutes. So Lindsay can paint a proportion of a room, because 1 by x is basically a proportion of something, in 20 minutes. So we can basically say that for Lindsay, 1 by x work is done in 20 minutes, or in short, 1 by x work is done in 1 by 3 hours. Now, this 1 by x represents a proportion of something, right? So let's suppose if I want to calculate in how much time Lindsay will do the entire work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by x. So I can say that Lindsay will do one work, that is the entire work, because 1 as a fraction is considered as 100%. So in x by 3 hours, right? What fraction of the same room can Joseph paint in 20 minutes if the two of them can paint the room in an hour? So let's do one thing. Now Lindsay can paint the entire room in x by 3 hours. So we can say that the rate at which Lindsay is working is basically equal to 1 total work divided by the rate, sorry, divided by the time, my bad, and that is equal to 3 by x units per hour. Now let's consider the rate at which Joseph is working to be some value y. So 3 by x plus y multiplied by, now since the two of them can paint the room in an hour, so that's multiplied by 1 hour, and that is equal to total work, which is equal to 1. So 3 by x plus y is equal to 1, which means y is equal to 1 minus 3 over x. Or in short, we can say that the rate at which Joseph can work is 1 minus 3 divided by x. Now, what's the question? What fraction of the same room can Joseph paint in 20 minutes? Okay. So rate at which Joseph is working is 1 minus 3 by x. So we can say that in 20 minutes or 1 by 3 hours, work done by Joseph will be equal to 1 by 3 into 1 minus 3 over x, and that is 1 by 3 minus 1 over x. 1 by 3 minus 1 over x. Now we have to calculate the fraction, so that's the total work done by Joseph, and then divided by 1. So our answer simply becomes x minus 3 divided by 3x, and that is our answer. So again, the whole point is you go step by step. First you're going to calculate the rate, then you're going to calculate the rate of Joseph, and then you're going to figure out your answer. You just have to go step by step, nothing else is required. All right. I hope you're liking the video, so please subscribe to the channel for more videos and exam related content on GMAT, GR and SAT. If you want to have any personalized classes for SAT, GMAT or GRE, then you can anytime connect with us. You can drop in a mail or you can connect on WhatsApp also, right? And thank you for all the likes and sharings and subscribing. And keep watching and keep learning, guys. If there's anything else that I can do for you, please do let me know. All right. Thank you so much.